Okay, so we're going to write up some docs for Mint T. We tried out their tutorial last week and it was pretty good. And there weren't really any problems with the tutorial itself. The main problem was, classically a skill issue. But mostly it's just like right here. The tutorial assumes you have a working knowledge of OCaml. That's a problem. So yeah. No. So it was mostly just like all the steps before here. That's the parts where I struggled with. So what we're going to do today is create a brand new project, make sure that I do it the same way, and then update the docs here to show someone how to create the project using Dune, how to uh, how to use the Mint T project from GitHub rather than OPAM, and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm sure Leo might have some things there. Bubble tea docs do a good job of not assuming you know Go. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Um, yeah, Nightshade. I lived a few hours from Taos, but Taos gets a lot more snow than we did. And that's why it's a good skiing place. We have friends in Taos though. It's pretty up there. It's a different place for sure. But a lot of people don't know, but like Albuquerque even gets snow. I mean, Albuquerque itself is 5,000 feet elevation. Most people don't know that. It's high desert. So I lived in the mountains just north of Albuquerque, so we were more like 6,000 feet. But it was still pretty temperate. Um, Probably the funniest thing about living at a high elevation, of course, is like you have to let your lungs get used to it and stuff. And my brother-in-law, who's like super into fitness, visited one time, and he just he didn't ask questions. I didn't warn him about it. I didn't know he was going to go for a run or anything like that. Um, and yeah, he just woke up one morning and went for a run like he would in like Portland, where he lived at the time. And he was completely wrecked when he got back. It was pretty funny. I mean, since he's okay, it was pretty funny. But yeah, he got pretty messed up. You gotta watch out for that if you're changing elevation. Oh yeah, it's so dry. It's similar in a way. It's similar to Knoxville, not in being dry, but like where I live now, in that like we'll get snow and then it's gone by the next day, if that. And because it's so dry and the sun is so hot, I mean, I don't know, it's so strong. Even if it's not hot, it's so strong. Like it'll melt the snow even when it's like not above freezing. It's it's pretty wild. It's a totally different place to live for sure. If you've never lived in the high desert, it's a weird mix of things. There's nothing like having cactus all over the ground and having them be covered in snow. It's a special place. Okay, so let's get started. I've already cloned Mint Tea from last time, so uh, I'm still in the Christmas spirit right now. So uh, we still got a little bit of Christmas lo-fi going on. We're still there. I've got till New Year's. I enjoy keeping things around for a while. Yeah, Tibetans are built for high elevation. Their body adapted to low oxygen. Yeah, isn't that wild? It takes a while. I mean, your body actually builds up. I believe it's more blood. You create more blood at higher elevations. Um, but you have to give yourself sometimes even a couple months to actually acclimate fully to high elevations, and some people never do. They're just not built for it. So it's pretty wild. But yeah, it's it's nice living at a high elevation, and then you go to like a normal place, and then you're like you have superpowers, right? I mean, your lung capacity is just that much better. Okay. Right. So let's see. What do we have back here? There's mint tea. Let's just go here. Make sure we have the latest. And then this is the actual repo that I cloned. So the remote is still set to here, and we're going to want to change that to fork or add a new remote for my own fork. Okay, okay, we're getting there. Let's copy this. And this is what I usually do. Something like that. And then everything up to date. Beautiful. Well, to Max, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. We're just working on some docs. We'll write a little bit of code as we need to with OCaml. So the main thing, in order to get back to a blank slate, basically, like right now, so there's this idea of switches, and it's OPAM, isn't it? That has switches, yeah. So OPAM has these switches. So what I've done through the commands here, when we do OPAM repository add, so I feel like this is beyond switches, and then this is actually pinning it for my specific switch that I'm in, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. So I think what I'm going to do is just start by creating a new switch, which I have no idea how to do. We'll just pretend I do. Well, we'll see. OPAM switch new test. No. Okay. OPAM switch help. Create. Okay. OPAM switch create switch, and then switch can be a plain name or a directory, absolute or relative. I haven't done it yet. I mean, yeah, I still need to test my camera. I got in some new USB hubs that are powered, like docks basically. And so I want to test my camera's FPS through each different dock and see what the difference is. I might do that on stream depending on when I can do it. Maybe I can do it like this week or something. I don't know. Maybe Friday. We'll see. Vacation time's almost over. Okay. When creating a local switch, the compiler is chosen according to the configuration default. Okay, so we'll just do the default compiler. That's fine. So OPAM switch create test. So I was close. I just needed to do create maybe. OPAM, what? Isn't that exactly what it told me to do? OPAM switch with a switch argument defaults to set switch. I thought it said that the compiler was optional. In which case a local switch is created below the given directory. Okay, maybe I don't know how to do this the right way. Okay. I guess we can just ask GPT. Why not? Or I should say OCaml Genie. The OCaml compiler is, hi Sabine, thanks for joining. The OCaml compiler is always part of the switch. Okay. So when I do, what I mean is, like, when I'm doing this create command, I thought I could like create a new switch just by saying this. But then it seems like it's matching on the word test, and I thought that would be the name of my switch, not the compiler. So that's the part that I was confused about. OPAM switch create name compiler. Okay. So if I just do this, so I still, oh, that's what it is. Okay, thanks, Les. I appreciate it. Oh, thanks, Amit. I'll open that up and put it on my other window here. And it looks like somehow I've been logged out of GPT. So let me log in on this other window while OPAM switch is doing its thing. Okay. Thanks. And let's go back. There we go. All right. Well, we don't need OCaml Genie at the moment. So this is still thinking, and we'll let that continue to think. So maybe chat knows some of this, but like one of the things I'm wondering is, let's see, let's open a couple things here. Where do I have this in an easy place that's not Twitter? Reasons, is this it? This is probably not it. Nope, wrong one. Oh, I bet I still have it over here, don't I? Yeah, okay. I'll drag this over. Okay. So this is the main point. Sorry, switch windows again. Which is we're adding a package from GitHub, so OPAM sees it, right? And then we have pen. Now, my thought, just I could be wrong, but my thought is that the OPAM repository, does that not matter which switch you're in? And then pen, I would imagine, does matter which switch you're in. But I also could be wrong about that. Like I know that this worked for me, but it's not like I completely understand why. This is adding another repository to your OPAM, right? And so that wouldn't necessarily yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so basically my thought is we're in a new switch. Okay, so we're in test. We have OCaml system. Okay, what's the difference between OCaml system and OCaml? Did I screw that up? Is that going to screw with me? Okay, on OCaml.org, we do it different. We use an OPAM template file to pin individual packages to GitHub without adding a repo to OPAM. Okay. Ah, okay. So you have OCaml.org.opam.template. So this is just your project name.opam.template. Pin depends, tailwind, and then you are specifying. Okay. And this, yeah, okay. So you can also do it that way. Okay. That's interesting. Right, and that's because, are you guys not using Dune? Is that one of the differences as well? No, you are using Dune. Okay, Dune uses Dune project dependencies, and you just explained it, and the .opam.template file to create an OPAM file. Okay, that makes sense. And then the result, yeah, that's what I was about to open. I was like, okay, I have to see what the OPAM file looks like then. Okay, So here's the, and I know tailwind was one of them. Okay, so here you're just calling tailwind the same way that I would have expected if I did it my way. But this is hilariously underdocumented. I'm gonna try to help. I'm gonna try to help Sabine. I'm clearly very OCaml noob here, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay. Let's just write this in our scratch buffer. Oh, that's funny. I had this written out in my scratch buffer for when I went to share it through Carbon. Okay, so you have the option of adding GitHub dependencies in project.opam.template file. Where project is your project name, or following the above. Hey Yawar, thanks. Dune generates OPAM files, but it doesn't support 100% of OPAM config instructions. Yeah. So the template file is used to mix in the ones which Dune doesn't know about. Sweet, sweet, awesome. There's a door opening in this song. That was in the song. How about it? Okay. So I'm going to create a brand new Dune project, and I'm interested to see, just trying this out, what happens when I try to create a new Dune project with Mint T as a dependency, with doing nothing what I've done in the other switch, and see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if it finds it or if it doesn't. I don't know what's going to happen. So this is the part I always forget. It's a Dune. It's Dune in it. Okay. Dune init. This is the part I have to do. Dune init proj name. Okay. So if I remember right, I'm gonna go Dune init proj, and then this is Minty tutorial. Okay, and we should now have a Mint T tutorial project. How about that? Okay, so let's write this down, because I'll probably already forget when I go to do this again. But the command is Dune init proj Mint T tutorial, and I'll just write it out probably exactly like that in the docs, because we're just choosing the project name for them. I think that's nice. Okay. So we have the Mint T tutorial. This looks good. So what I'm interested in then from here is, if I go into what I mean with underdocumented is that on OCaml.org, where we have to give people docs that show them how to do the most important things, they want to do, pretty sure there's a lot of docs on this, but it's hard to find the exact thing. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think what I was looking for, Sabine, is, and I can't remember exactly how I got to it last week, but I was looking for this like step by step, this is how you add this dependency from GitHub, and I like couldn't find that easily, either by Googling or whatever. I honestly, the main way I mean, I did eventually find something that talked about it, and I'd have to find the link where that is. I might even still have it open. But I pretty much just got the process from OCaml Genie, to be honest. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Just to have like that step by step, the couple different options. But yeah, I mean, I tried on GPT-4, and GPT-4 hallucinated, and then OCaml Genie mostly didn't hallucinate. The only thing that it messed up on, which might be alternative syntax, which is allowed. I'm not sure. Let's see. Is it this one or is it the GPT one? What? I just opened a conversation. Why are you guys being dumb? Come on, GPT. Really? Really? You're just mad at me? You're not going to load any previous conversations? Okay. This is the one from OCaml Genie. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this OPAM pin ad, it was actually just OPAM pin without the ad. So I think that's the only thing that this was wrong about. Other than that, this was like, this worked. Whether or not there's an easier way to do it, you know, it worked. Okay. Or following the above, right. So where were we? Hard to tell I have ADHD, huh? Okay. So let's just go into our bins, Dune file, and let's add library mentee. And then let's just start with that and see what happens. Okay, cool. Library mentee not found, as expected. Okay. OPAM pin ad is correct according to the help doc. Oh, that's weird. I swear I ended up doing OPAM pin. Oh yeah, there's an option. That's so weird. You are right. Oh, that's weird. So I guess I'm wrong. I could have sworn that I did not do the ad. But we can try it again, because we're about to do it again. Perhaps it can be omitted? Yeah, maybe. What was I doing? Oh yeah, going to my scratch buffer. Yeah, I did OPAM pin package name get URL. Interesting. Yeah, without argument defines the list. So it seems unlikely that it can be omitted based on the help docs. So maybe I'm the one hallucinating at this point. Okay. Let's see what happens. All right, so we did this. So I'm wondering if I still need to add the repository. Is there like a... Is there a way I can like list? Okay. I'm going to guess that's going to be extremely noisy, but we could do list. No, this is fine. Okay. Repository configuration for switch test 1 default. Okay. So I do need to add the repository for each one. Hey, well typed. How's it going? We're seeing if we can come up with a nice well, I knew OPAM repository. I know I did add for repository. I just thought I didn't do add for pin, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we're seeing if we can just come up with a easy reproducible, like add GitHub dependency to OCaml project sort of thing, and then putting that into the mentee tutorial because I struggled with it as an OCaml noob, and you know, maybe it'll also help flesh out actual OCaml documentation. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's all up to the infamous Sabine. Okay. OPAM repository add. Pins are a layer on top of the default repository. So that's redundant. So what I did before is I did OPAM repository add, and then I wasn't able to use it still. I had to pin it before I could actually use it in my Dune project. Does that make sense to everyone? But yeah, we can go right to pin. Let's see. OPAM. This is mine, but it doesn't really matter. I'll still change it to Leo's. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Sabine. I mean, I appreciate you all being here. It really, really does help and helps me kind of like work it all out. OPAM repository is not about Git repos, right? I think that's the one you would use if you want to use an entire custom package registry. Yeah, I mean, that's what makes sense to me from like a semantic perspective, right, Prophet? But then when I was looking it up, I think this is the docs I ended up finding. Maybe it was in the OPAM docs. Let's see. I have so many effing windows open, and it's probably, yeah, it's definitely a disservice at this point. There it is, OPAM manual. Okay, so this is more about the actual OPAM. Now, let me try repository add. Okay, there it is. I swear this is where I ended up finding it. And let's see. GitHub dependency. Okay. Oh well. I thought I could add GitHub dependency to OCaml projects. I thought this is where I found it. Nope, guess not. I guess this is like, I should have left it up. It looks like it works with adding individual package repos to by chance or by design. So funny. Yeah, I found a page that was like, that basically said this is how you can do it to add your own private Git repository. But and I know that's a little bit different, but like, yeah, it clearly maybe it didn't work. Maybe that didn't work at all, and the only thing that actually worked was the pin and the repository add. Like, it added the repository, but that didn't actually mean anything for my actual project. And that might be, I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually what happened here. Okay, so I'm trying this without the add just to see what happens. Yeah, that's funny. So it's undocumented, and it probably was just a mistake on my part to omit add, but OPAM pin without the add also works for whatever reason. So pretty funny. Bestie Mod, what's up? How's it going, Justine? Okay, so OPAM pin, package name, get URL. like, do you guys have a preference? Like, obviously this is what the help says, so I would probably rather say let's be explicit and just use the word add, even though it clearly worked without it. I don't know. I'm just going to delete this for now. Okay. So that's the pin. It's installing. We're going through. This might take a while. And then we should be able to use Mint T in our project, and then we'll kind of know this is the right way to do it. And that's simple enough. Okay. I guess I can start, since we're waiting on this, I could start with actually putting these into formatted docs in the Mint T README. We'll call them tutorial updates. And then we'll just open that in Emacs. Mint T README. Okay. We'll start by I didn't see what Leo's thing was. I don't think there were any shell commands in here. I guess we'll just go with the standard dollar prefixed. Dune init proj mint t tutorial. And directory. Okay. Let's see. So I don't know how long. I don't think he's published this to OPAM, and that's been the whole problem. So now we need to pin it. Then we need to pin the Mint T. What's the right name for this? Package? Package? Is that the right name for this? Pin the Mint T package. So pin the Mint T packages, idiomatic things. Then we need to pin the Mint T package to the GitHub source. Probably good enough. Not Dune. OPAM pin add Mint T. Hey Dylan. We're getting there. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so that's done. So let's test this out. Let me make sure. Oh, let me just maybe finish a thought. Should I just maybe finish a thought for once in my life before I move on? Okay. OPAM pin add mint t git at github.com leostera/mintt.git. Looks good to me. And then OPAM will do some work installing Mint T. from the GitHub source. I don't know if that line's really necessary. And then let's just say, then we just add mint t to the libraries in our Dune file. Okay. Since we're going with this whole Dune init project thing, I guess it makes sense to specify which Dune file I'm talking about. In I guess we can say bin/Dune. In bin/Dune. Okay. Of course, he called it shop. I think I'll just update that to. Let me see where else he uses shop. Because I think I'll just. I could just do init project shop. I guess that would be fine. I kind of like it being mint t tutorial. I don't know. Anybody have things? Might want to add the yes flags. Oh, proceeds without asking for confirmation. Nice. I like that. Okay. Let me just see what that looks like. I know I already have this, but okay. Looks good. Good call, Yawar. Okay. Now we can create a new shop.ml file. Yeah, he's kind of like, he assumed that somebody would be able to do this without a project, and we kind of did it through a project. So I think we just have to change the way that this is written a little bit, and we'll see what Leo thinks. So I think I'm going to change shop to mint t tutorial, and he can tell me if he hates it. I think that's what we'll do. So let's just start with s/shop/mint t tutorial. Okay. And this is going to be where? It's actually just the bin/main.ml file. Okay. And typo fix. I mean, people could have gotten a GitHub contribution right there just by fixing that one typo. Everybody's just sleeping on that. Okay, great. Now we can create a new. We don't need to do this. So all this is wrong. So let's just do this. D0. e./bin/main.ml file. We can start by opening up mint t. OCaml open mint t, and the rest of this should just work. Let's just verify that we're right. Okay. So let's see. What should I do? I guess I'll just go ahead and copy the first one I did. And make sure everything. I mean, we probably don't, Yawar. The struggle that I had as a fairly new is how to go from Dune project init to like having this all work. I tried I tried to do the same thing, following the tutorial as it is with the pinned GitHub repository, but it didn't work correctly. Like there wasn't, I probably don't have the words to be able to say it. Like I don't know the right way to say it. When I then, like there wasn't, I couldn't use Dune build in that case or whatever. Like I tried Dune build and it was just like, oh, mint tea still not found, blah, blah, blah. But maybe we can try that again after this. I mean, maybe I should try that before I totally mess him up. Dune init executable, which only adds the bin and not the lib folder. Okay, maybe that's the right choice anyway. We could do that real quick. So let's just do this. Oh gosh, really? Okay, fine. Now that I know that I typed the right directory, we'll do it. We'll do an F and we'll say Dune init. I can't remember what it is right now. It's exec. I thought I might have tried that. Oh, that's right. This is what I. So this is definitely a confusing part. So if you do Dune init project, if you do Dune init proj name, it actually Dune project Dune and hello world.ml. Okay, then maybe that's what we should do, Yawar. I could be making this too complicated, which is very, very common when you don't know what you're doing, right? So this like created a build. It created a minttee tutorial.ml file. And it also, this is one of the annoying things. I mean, I can kind of understand why they did it this way, but one of the annoying things is it put this in my existing directory where, of course, init proj creates a new directory. And like, that's a little bit confusing, I'd say. I mean, of course I kind of get it, but it's also confusing. Hey, Infinite Coder. Yeah, totally, Yawar. I get that. No, it's cool, Les. This is literally what I did last week, but like my memory doesn't let me actually learn from my experiences. I just have to repeat the same mistakes. And then we have our Dune file. Okay. All right. So now that we have this should be everything that we just created with Dune in it. And I swear this is exactly what I did before, but maybe the difference between this is that there's not a Dune project file, Yawar, and maybe that's why this didn't work the way that I would have expected. So if we have this cat Dune, okay. So let's go back here. Okay, so we know we need to add minttee here. And once we do that, we already have it pinned. We know that much. If we say Dune build, this is what I got. And I think that's where it was confusing because there's no Dune project file. And so as a beginner, right, to the language anyway, like I didn't know where to go from here, really. I was like, this isn't, well, I'd already done like the other one before, like, cause I created a little dream web app when I was playing with OCaml the first time. And I was like, okay, well, this was not my experience. But let's try creating a Dune project file. So let's look at the Dune website. Dune OCaml, sure. Composable, there it was, Dune.build. Let me do a quick message check. Un momento. Where the hell is my phone? There it is. Yeah, maybe, or maybe this is still good, and we just go through like creating these different things. All you need is a Dune project file, of course. Of course. Okay. So Dune project is just ling Dune 3.6. Okay. So if we say ling Dune 3.6, let's just pretend that's fine, to Dune project. And then we say Dune build. Too many arguments for, oh my God, I'm dumb. Is that right? Libraries mint T. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sweet. That's much simpler. Then we don't even need all that shit, right? And then let's just copy. Yeah, I like this. And then if I just go ahead and say, this is just whatever they created to begin with, right? So I'm just going to copy my MT shopping list, Ben main to here. And then it actually makes sense to just go back to what Leo had before, and we just guide them to create one more file. Because at the end of the day, the Dune init exec is not doing a whole lot for us. Like, we might as well just create those files by hand. It's not even creating a directory for us. It's not really doing anything for us, right? So yeah. Okay, so we have this done, and then if I remember right, if I say Dune exec mint t tutorial, not found. Okay, that's not how that works. So how do I actually run in this sort of thing? Am I just forgetting how Dune exec works? It's totally possible. It might even be in the README already. README. We build our Mentee application by calling oh wait, I didn't do this part. The last step is to simply run our program. We build our Mentee application by calling mentee.app init update view, and we can start it by calling mentee.start app initial model. Let app equals mentee.app. No, I did do that part. I'm done. I'm done. I wasn't thinking about it. So that's all in this source file. Do an exec bin name. Oh, right, from the Dune file, not the actual file name. So that's why it's wrong. So in this case, it's probably this, right? No? Just give me a second. I'm thinking about three things at once. Okay, let's just go back here. Open up this and make sure that it actually looks right. This looks fine. This is our code from the other day where we just did this. This is all good. This is going through the tutorial. Okay. And then in our Dune project, that's still just that. Here it's executable name mint t tutorial. Yeah, what is this? So am I dumb? Am I just not? Do I just not know how this works? So I tried the file name. I tried the name of the bin, which is mint_t_tutorial. So why doesn't either of those things work? Huh. Yeah, the Dune file is this. Sorry, I went off of it because I was looking at this. Oh, wait, I kind of forgot. It's this thing. Dune exec. At least this is on the Dune website. ./mint_t_tutorial.exe. I remember reading that, but I hadn't had to do that because on a project, that's not how you do it, right? Okay. It's not confusing at all to randomly like create this .exe out of thin air. Dune exec name requires a public name. Yeah, I think for projects, isn't that how you do it? Like if we go back to my MT shopping list project, isn't it just Dune exec MT shopping list, or am I crazy? Yeah. So that's also pretty darn confusing, right? The difference between those two things. I mean, I can understand it. It's fine. But oh, it's a thing in the Dune file. Okay. Interesting. You just always do Dune exec./foo.exe. Yeah. Yeah, we can try that real quick, guys. Sure. So try adding public name to the executable name foo, public name foo. Okay. Public name MTT. How about that? Can we just call it something completely different? All right. Dune exec MTT. No, it hates me. Too many arguments for name. So it must be a separate S expression. That's probably what it is. Nope, it hates me. But no OPAM packages. Please add a package.opam file at the project receipt these elements. Okay. And thus we are going back to Yawar's .exe. Okay, good deal. Let's buy them all. Let's buy them all. Carrots, cupcakes, empanadas. Okay, so this is simpler. So to make this easy, let's go back here and let's just undo all of our changes. I'll just copy one part of it before I undo it all. And that's because the really the only thing that matters here is this right here. This should be my only addition now that we made this simpler, which I probably wouldn't have done without your help. So I do appreciate it. Okay, so now we're going to restore that. Like it. Okay. And this should be up here. We'll start by defining our Dune file. Okay. We'll just paste this here. Might put it somewhere else eventually. Let's see. Should this be in the tutorial or should this just be outside of it? I'm just thinking. Because technically this is just like, if you want to use Mint T before it's available on OPAM, this is what you need to do. I'll just put it here and then Leo can tell me if he thinks it should be somewhere else. Let's see. So yeah, this is fine. So I just need to say something else. I guess we can, yeah, I guess we can put it below here actually. So let's just yank there. Nope. Nice try. This works. We'll start by defining our Dune file, executable name, shop, libraries, Mint T. Then we need to pin the Mint T package to the GitHub source. OPAM pin add Mint T, get a GitHub. Yes, OPAM will do some work installing Mint T from the GitHub source. Great. Now we can create a new shop.ml file and start by opening up Mint T. Let's not forget our really important typo fix. Open Mint T. Okay. And to make things easier, we can, right. So because of this, because we don't have it pinned and everything, we need that Dune project file. Next, we'll create a Dune project file. I guess he said define our Dune project file. I guess this is still technically Dune. Whoops. Forgot I was in Emacs, so it has special things that try to help me and often hinder. Okay, now we can create a new shop.ml file and start by opening up Mint T. This is clear enough. Like, if there's a $sign, I mean, it's not like these are new programmers. Like, you know that I'm saying you're running this OPAM command in your terminal, right? Like, I don't need to specify that. Next, we'll define our Dune project file. Okay, so then this is all there. Running Dune build will validate the package has been installed correctly. Okay. I think that's true. Okay. And then, so we're going to do all this work. And then at the very end, and we get our lovely little TUI app. Okay. And we can start it by calling mint.start app.initial model. And then here, we called it shop. So we're going to write, that's what he called it up here. He called it shop. Yeah. Okay. So then we're just going to say shop.ml or shop.exe. Okay. We build our Minty application by calling, and we can start it by calling. Okay. And we see this part is a little like confusing, I think, because like, yes, I understand like this is what's building and starting the application in the code, but that's not what's starting the application like when we think of we're starting our application, right? So that part is a little bit confusing. We build our Minty application by calling minty.app init update view, and we can start it by calling minty.start app initial model. So this is okay. We'll just say run. We run our application. We can now run our application. Dune exec./shop.exe. Okay. And we get our lovely little TUI app. I think that makes sense, actually. What do you guys think? If you're around. Does that make sense? Let's look at our diffs. Okay. We added the whole thing about pinning the repository via GitHub, defining a Dune project file. Then we can run Dune build, and it validates that it's working correctly. We can now run our application, Dune exec./shop.exe, and we get our lovely little TUI app. Looks good. All right. Come on, Amit. I expected you to have really strong opinions on this. Opinions. All right. I got a message. Hold on one second. Okay. Absolutely, Prophet. Start with x86 64 assembly. Hey, Duck 10 TUI. Are you just like a terminal UI fan child to make it non-gendered? Is that what the TUI is in your username? Okay, so you want to learn programming. Which programming language should I start with? There are many of them. I don't know. I really have no clue what programming language you should start with. It really depends on what you want to do. What are your goals? What are you interested in? Do you just want to make money? Do you want to build front-end website UIs? Do you want to work on embedded systems? I mean, what is it that you want to do? There's a lot of different paths. Do you want to rot your mind by learning languages that rot your mind? That's why I like Rust Package Manager. Yeah, yeah, Rust Package Manager. Cargo's great. We're working on it. We're working on it, right? And by we, I mean all the people that actually know how to use OCaml and um, you know, figure it out. But yeah, I think Prophet might have been unironic in recommending assembly, a well-typed witch, unironic in recommending assembly, because if you want to like actually understand how it works and how systems work, like could be a great choice. Um, when I learned programming, I had a toddler, and uh, well, when I learned programming for real, like to get a job, I had a toddler. I did not start with C or assembly. I started with what's the fastest way I can get a job, because the one I'm in is crushing my soul. So I was in a different situation. My goal was don't have soul crushing job and spend more time with my kid while she was still young. Um okay. What did we do? We'll just say README updates, add instructions for project setup to tutorial. Looks good. Oh yeah, I wanted to push fork. Okay, so we're there. We should be able to open this. Let's see. Will it actually go to the right one? Come on. Come on, Warp. Why aren't you opening? Where are you opening? You're not opening anywhere. Oh god, you're opening Chrome? I don't want you to open Chrome. I closed Chrome for a reason. I forgot to switch my default browser. Brave. There we go. Yeah, for sure, Amit. It's a great point. Coca Lang. I don't know Coca. Or I do, and I just forget because there's just so many goddamn languages out there. Oh yeah, I've opened this like 4 times on stream, I think. Gosh, Coca. So many things. They're just all like mush in my head at this point. Very cool. Wow, that's neat. Coca compiles directly to C. Yeah. Perseus reference counting. Yeah. So it's basically like you get reference counting without having to keep track of everything. That's really nice. I like it. Portable C, JS, JVM, or .NET. Wow. That's neat. I'll have to look at that someday. My list is so long at this point. Okay, open a pull request. README updates, add instructions for project setup to tutorial. Let's see how this looks. Display the rich diff. Let's see that rich diff. Okay. What the fuck did I do? I messed this up somehow. No. Why does this look so bad? Oh, it's just because this was messed up. It was GitHub. It wasn't me. Okay, good. We'll start by defining our do file. Then we need to pin the mint2 package to the GitHub source. Okay. Next, we'll define our Dune project file. Running Dune build will validate the package has been installed correctly. Great, now we can create a new, that's the one we just made the typo fix. Got the typo fix, totally good. And then we should just have one more at the end. Okay. We can now run our application. Okay. Do an exact./shop.exe and we get our lovely little TUI app. All right, looks good. Pull request almost opened. As instructions for pinning the GitHub source and OCaml. I'll just say pinning the package from GitHub in OCaml. And clarifies how to run the project, the app, once it's app via Dune. Okay, that's good enough. Leo already knows this is coming, so like, you know, it's not like this should be, I don't need to write a novel on why I wanted to make this change. Yay, we did it. We contributed to open source. How about it? By me, you know, this is where being new to something is actually somewhat helpful. Just completely not understanding how things work, working through it. And like I think that's like one thing that people who are new to software or new to an ecosystem can get overwhelmed by. I get overwhelmed by it too, right? But there's so much that you can provide by not knowing things and working through a solution and documenting that solution. And if you can contribute that back to the community, then it's going to help a lot of people, helps you, helps everybody, all that good stuff. Yeah, for sure, Sabine. Yeah, I think really all it comes down to, I mean, there is that other way, of course, where you don't have to pin it for your whole switch. I guess that's the difference, right? Like the difference is between the way that OCaml.org does it and the way that I did it is I'm pinning it for my entire switch, where I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm bending it for my entire switch, and the using the OPAM template file, you're just basically including it for that single project, and that would be the difference between the two methods. So I don't know if that's correct. Yeah, okay. Very cool. I mean, it would be great just to see, it's like 10 lines, right? Right, it's right. If you provide like the file name right to the switch, you use local switches installed to the current directory for projects, right? Yeah. See, I've gotten like inklings of those things, but that's it. Yeah. It is absolutely for me, Amit. It's the kinds of things that I just wish people did. Like, I understand that everybody else just completely knows every single time they go to create a C application how to link everything and how to do it all in a way that makes sense. But like, I can't remember anything. So we have to just like just trying to make it easy on me too. Oh yeah, it's true. I have been Java dev. I've been Java dev, Yawar. And we just copy you just copy the POM from your previous file, your previous project, right, into your new one. And you're like, okay, I don't need this anymore. That's how you do it. Makes it easier to eventually get back to a project and its dependencies. Yeah, that makes sense, Sabine. Yeah. I don't have I get the idea of switches, but of course, it's not like I have experience using them really. You only use default config in Android Studio, yeah. We used Maven a lot. Technically, I still use Maven in Clojure because Lineagen uses Maven under the hood. But Lineagen's so much nicer to work with than pom.xml files. First off, we just write Clojure to define our Lineagen project config instead of having to write freaking XML. There's a reason why people are working on making Dune a full-featured front end for OCaml. Yeah, and it's precisely this is too complex. Yeah. I think there's a lot of options to make this a nice experience. It's just the little things that trip people up, and especially if somebody was newer to programming, that could be a lot more, or they were just used to a single ecosystem that made it all really nice for you, or at least appears to make things nice. But we'll see what happens. So I feel like, yeah, where did this is here. Let's look at that template file one more time. Pen depends. Okay. Rihanna R, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a good day. Enjoying, hopefully, some quiet time while most people have holidays and stuff. Oh, thanks for the follow, Yawar. Oh yeah, for sure. I imagine you're actually being serious about that. Like, that's not a ironic take. Obviously it can be done really badly, right? Like any other abstraction, but I don't know. It's challenging because you get the same thing like we have in Haskell with Stack and Cabal, right? And then people have really strong opinions and things suck and things don't work between them, and it really just depends on people's preferences, But I also haven't had to deal with it in large projects, so I'm not 100% qualified to talk about it. Yeah, they introduce their own complexity in the process. Yeah, that happens a lot. It's really hard. It's hard to take things that are, in some ways crufty, right? And then make them actually work well going forward. But there's a lot of hard work in that. I don't envy people that are having to do that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just document for myself, at least, what I have in my Scratch file. We have it documented here, which is nice. I didn't do the pen depends because we don't even have an OPAM file in this basic thing. Like in our tutorial, right? Like, what do we have? Yeah. So with this whole like Dune executable, it doesn't even create an OPAM file or anything like that. Okay. So if you have a project, I kind of like this declarative thing better, of course, because when you're sharing a project, right, it's tracked in source control rather than just like, oh yeah, make sure everybody you add your depends. Pin all these GitHub repos real quick in our onboarding docs. That would be gross. Let's see. So it's Scratch. A big problem with OCaml is survivorship bias. Yeah, for sure. Once you paid the price of understanding the ecosystem, it's great, but until then, it's not really like any. Yeah, I think that happens a lot with, that happens a lot in Haskell as well. It's a big part of it. I mean, it happens in all sorts of things, but it's hard to remember. I don't know if I've ever done it before, to be honest with you. I mean, I've done whatever it's been, at least 12 newish languages to me in the last couple months. And I don't know if I've done that from a perspective of not being completely, I don't know what to say, how to say it. I think what I'm trying to say is I think this is the first time, and part of what I was trying to go through with the 12 programming languages in 4 weeks is like, what is it actually like as a new person to these languages, to start in them, to try to create a project, to try to get your environment set up, and all those kinds of things. And now it's all documented in way too many hours of content that apparently people watch for some reason. I mean, not tons of people, but people watch them. I'm always surprised. I'm just doing my day and somehow there's still 10 hours of watch time on my videos. I don't understand how that's possible. Like in a day. It's a lot to me. And I just mean on YouTube. But anyway, my point is, yeah, and it's not easy in a lot of, I mean, C and C++ is another classic example of that. And then like Scheme is a good example. And what I mean by that is when I went from, because I did C, C++, Zig, and then Scheme. And when I went into Scheme, when I was adding a project, it gave me in the project's README exactly how to add this project and link it. So even though you have to manually link things in Scheme, it told, and it was SBCL, but it told me exactly how to do it. Not SBCL, I'm sorry, that's common list. It's Guile Scheme. Get terms mixed up. But yeah, it told me exactly how to link the project in the README. And I was just like, if they would have just put this in all the other like C READMEs and didn't just expect that I would figure it out on my own, it would be so much nicer as somebody like newish coming into that ecosystem. So yeah, it's a really valuable perspective. Okay, so what was I going to do? Adding GitHub dependencies in project.opam.template file, where project is your project name. Okay. So we don't need this. Let's just do this. 6. I'm going all over the place with the way I'm trying to do this, but there we go. Oh, right. That makes sense. I just need to copy this again. Okay. So that's that. And then maybe I'll just put this in a Git just for the hell of it. even though it's like really basic. But we could do that. What do I want to do? I could put it in my OCaml docs. It's kind of an interesting idea too. I kind of like that better. It'll be easier for me to find it. So let me just copy all of this and we'll put it in mtol. OCaml and README. And I forgot how to go to the end. That's how to go to the beginning. How do you go to the end of the file in Vim? Using Vim motions. Come on, Vimmers. Tell me what's up. All right. It's just G? Oh, capital G. Okay. So GG. Okay. That makes sense. Thanks, Dylan. I think I'm done. I'm happy that we got that done. I'm happy that the pull request is open. I'm feeling good about that. And I think I'm good with ending it there. I should be, yeah, lowercase g to go to the beginning, uppercase G to go to the end. Yeah. Okay. Many such cases. All right. So yeah, let's see. Who's streaming? Who should we raid? I think I'm gonna write some Rust next time. We'll probably keep working on this Rust CLI business. So that's probably what we're gonna do next. I haven't streamed Prime in a while. I mean, rated Prime. Pull request gets rejected. That'd be so funny. It'd be such a power play. I even like asked him on Twitter. I was like, you know, do you want this pull request where I just like add some of these details? And he's like, yes, please, you know. It'd be so funny if he just rejects it. He's like, nope, this is crap. All right. All right, I'm gonna end YouTube here. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. And we'll raid Prime.